Babe, what are you doing? Give my glasses back.
No, they complement my eyes.
Hi everybody, and welcome back. So today's video I'm actually going to make from box out. I don't know, well I do know what's in the box, but I don't know what it's all going to take to assemble everything that's in this box. So the story goes, the little mini boss over here decided that she really likes the swing at her grandparents' house. So then wifey boss said, well, we need a swing. So I was like, all right. So we bought a swing off of Amazon and we're going to put it together. So follow along as we're going to open this box, see what it takes, and put this thing together. And maybe give a review on how it works out. So let's open her up, see what's inside. So it looks like this is actually going to go a lot faster than I thought it would. Most of it's already pre-made for us, which is nice. So everything we get in the box is the bench part of this swing and the chains and mounting hardware to hold it up. This is designed to hang from a porch. So if you have a porch, you would just put some lags up in a truss or a cross beam and hang it from that. Now we don't have a porch, so part of this whole project, or part two of this project, is going to be building a frame to hold this thing up so that we have a freestanding swing. For now, let's unstrap this and put it together. So I wasn't sure what we'd all be getting ourselves into, but this is pretty straightforward, and I gotta admit, this is really well made. I'll put a link to this thing from Amazon. It's a something Amish bench swing, but it looks like pretty much all we're gonna need is wrenches. So let's go ahead and get that together. So it looks like all you really need to put this swing bench together is a 7/16 wrench. So they give you lag bolts and then nuts, which is nice, actually. That makes it very easy. So if you guys are going to buy this bench, which I do recommend, and put it together, just make sure you have a 7/16 wrench. So first we're going to put the back up and see if we can't line this up and do it one-handed. I'm going to put the lag bolts, which have a pan head on one side, pan head facing out, that way it just looks better, and punch this through. This would be easier to do if you have two people, obviously, because then one person could hold it and the other person could be putting the bolts in. But looks like this isn't too hard to do with just one person, because there we got two bolts in one end. Now I'm just going to come over and do the two bolts in the other end. Again, pan head facing out for cosmetics, as well as that way you don't snag your clothes on it or anything. So there's two lag bolts that go in the middle for a total of 6 lag bolts that hold up the back to the bottom. Now we're just going to put nuts on these here bolts. Kira, are you making sure our chain is good? Now we have nuts and bolts on all 6 bolts that hold the back to the bottom. Don't tighten those yet, because before you tighten those and make it more difficult to adjust, we need to put the arms on. So it looks like the arm piece actually uses one of the chain bolts, which is an eye bolt, to attach the back half, and you only have the pan head bolts on the bottom 2 rungs. So we're going to put those in now. Again, it's not that difficult to line the holes up. Just put it in and give a little wiggle. Kira, that's okay. Now again, we're going to put the bolts on top. Attach these. Put some nuts on the bolts. Again, not tightening these up until everything is in its specific hole and ready. Now I'm going to put the arm on the other side. So that takes care of all the bolts going in, the bolts and the nuts. So now we're going to work on putting the chains, because as I said, the one bolt that holds the chain also attaches the arm to the back. And then the other bolt that holds the chain attaches right to the front. It goes through these here holes. So let's work on that. Kira, what'd you do with the chains? The chains here also are not very difficult to understand. It's pretty simple. Obviously you have a blank end that is going to be hung from the rafters, or in this case the frame that we build to hold this. So you hold that up, and they already have the two chains joined down here. So you just hold that up, and the longer of the two chains is going to go in the front. Thread it right down through that hole, and that's good. And this, the shorter bolt of the two chains goes right here and attaches the arm to the back. We put our nuts on, again, hand tight. Now I'm going to follow the same process for the other side. Kira, I need the chain. Can I have the chain, please? Thank you. Now that all the bolts are in and all the nuts are on, now we go through and tighten them all up. Keep going. Yeah, keep going. Is it getting tough?
No, Daddy.
Use both hands.
No, Daddy. No, Daddy.
Kira, I have to. We got to make sure it's tight.
No, Daddy.
Wrong way, Kira.
No, Daddy. No, Daddy. No.
Did you get your own wrench? So now all the bolts are tight, or all the nuts are tight, and the bolts, I guess, they go together. This really isn't a little tip. When you're tightening these up, you don't have to be Atlas on them. Once you get the head smushed in just a little bit, then that's enough tension. The wood will provide enough tension on the nuts to make sure they don't wiggle loose. That's something you might want to go through once a year and retighten those up to make sure they don't come loose, but that pretty much sticks her together. So that concludes the building of the Amish heavy-duty 800-pound rollback. That's, if you want to find it on Amazon, that's what it is. I love you too, Kira. So I'm really happy with this thing, to be honest with you. I mean, you know, they associate a lot of things with the word Amish. Usually you would normally associate quality with Amish. In this case, that holds true. All the edges are nicely sanded and rounded. The cuts are nice and square. The spacing is even, and the wood is good quality. So I'm going to stain this thing, and we're going to spray a generic deck stain on this thing to preserve it, because it's going to be out in the weather, and it's ready for that. So overall, I'm very happy with this purchase, and I'm very happy with putting this together. Again, all you need is a 7/16" inch wrench, because I can talk wonderfully, and a little mini helper to put it together. So that's it for this build. Stay tuned for part 2 when we custom build a frame to hang this from. Because we don't have a porch, we need to make a frame for it to hang from. So thank you for watching. If you like this video, go ahead and hit that thumbs up icon. Feel free to comment on what we could improve here, or how you liked watching this video, or at least what you might do with this swing in the future. Thank you very much, and have a good night. And this video is brought to you by the solar-powered homemade air conditioner. That's right, she works. Well, you already know that she works, but now she's solar-powered.
Bye-bye.